I won't never tell him how I did it, it was magic. Can you imagine? Money in the mattress, love the way I stack it. I could make it rain, blue hundreds, can you catch it? If somebody...
Shout out to Vince, man. Welcome back. Welcome back to another episode of Everything Under the Sky. I'm your host, Young Lamb, with the usuals. My boy, Young Larry.
What up?
Got the Boston green on. Okay. I'm digging. you following the character. Okay, I like it.
I'm about to make my debut on Winning Time.
Young Buzz. Young Buzz in the house.
Going down.
Episode 54, Everything Under the Sky, where we get together every week and talk about everything under the sky. How are you guys?
I'm good. I'm chilling.
I mean, same here, bro. I'm good. I feel like there's been a lot going on this week. I feel like just lately, maybe that's just life. Man. There's just always
shit starting to move.
Yeah,
you could tell summer's getting ready to pop up. Like stuff starting to move forward. What do you mean though? What do you mean by?
I mean, I feel like there's a lot with sports going on right now. We got baseball starting up. There's playoffs for hockey. Obviously, for the NBA is about to start here soon. People are outside. We had opening day though, which I feel like got people out.
Did you guys see Denver University won the championship for hockey?
Bro, Denver sports is
the
lit
Frozen
right now.
Four. Yeah.
Surprisingly, I was like hating on the Rockies the other day, but they're like. They have the best record in the MLB right now.
Oh, don't
It's early though.
Talk about it. Talk about it. Of course, we just got Russ Wilson. I've been seeing he's been outside too. I've seen a lot of people finding them in the mall and like random spots. Like I ran into Russ.
Well, speaking of him, he went to the Nuggets game.
Basketball,
he was courtside, and then he went to opening day. He was the opening pitch.
Yep,
and what's just crazy because if you don't know the history, like he was actually drafted by
the rep. Yeah. I seen somebody post
so
that.
it's kind of like full circle sort of stuff. So yeah, but
there's a lot of energy in the city right now for sure.
Bro, once opening day hits, that's when everything starts to get popping. Like people start going out.
But it's been weird because it's been cold still.
I know.
It's just windy. Right, the spring wind be out of control in Colorado. It come right from the mountains and just sweep us all away.
It's too much. It's got my allergies acting crazy right now.
Bro, the wind is crazy. I can't even find any watermelon. And I was like, hey, why I ain't got no watermelon? They're like, oh, our trucks, the wind, they can't drive to us. I said, what?
I didn't even know about that.
I was like, I know it's been windy, but I need some watermelon.
Nah, that's true. Man. Them things gonna flip.
Wait, have you been finding watermelon before that, though?
Yeah, every now and then.
Yeah,
it's definitely been a struggle.
Is it seedless or seeds in?
Every now and then I find some seeds. Even sometimes it'll be like seedless, and then I'll find some seeds. I'm like, oh, yeah, for sure. I don't know what's going on in the world, but for sure.
And
it's definitely a struggle. I'm definitely going to grow some watermelons. It just sucks because I can't grow that many watermelons.
Yeah, they're going to run out fast.
Right, I can't eat them all.
That's right around the corner too. That's right around the corner too to get your crops going.
Yeah, garden season.
Yeah. Start getting your seeds ready and start sprouting them.
Yeah, I was walking on campus. I seen trees getting ready to sprout and stuff. I'm like, yep, it's getting ready to bloom. That spring bloom energy is in the air.
Mm-hmm. And then as we speak, it's like 38 degrees.
I know.
Like,
but it's gonna be nice this weekend though.
Yeah,
I'm thinking it's time. I'm thinking it's time for my first hike of the year. Like I'm thinking I might get outside this weekend and try and hit a hike somewhere.
Damn, you might have to let me know.
For sure.
Yeah, let's go.
Well,
sounds like a family trip.
For sure. It would probably have to be Sunday then, right?
Hey, there ain't no football.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
And my Nuggets play Saturday, so that's perfect.
I know the playoffs do start this weekend. We'll get into basketball here soon. We could start with some love though on episode 54, right?
Yes, sir.
54, yeah.
Did you guys see DJ Khaled get his
star?
Hollywood Walk of Fame star?
I did.
He brought out Joe, Fat Joe, Jay-Z, Diddy. His family was there. Of course, Lil Assad. Everybody was there to support in attendance. I thought that was dope. I feel like it's always random when people get a star too. You never hear about it, and then out of nowhere. they just get a star. I'm like, oh, that's dope.
Yeah, I heard he was getting a star, but I did not know that it was something like this with people out there.
What do you mean?
I just saw an article like, oh, DJ Khaled's getting a star. I was like, oh, that's tight. I didn't know he had a whole ceremony and Jay-Z was there. Who else?
Yeah, well, usually when you get a star, it's like a whole reveal type deal. So like they put their paw prints in, and it's like cemented in the Hollywood little Walk of Fame type deal. And it's it's usually a huge deal. They always have people speak and stuff, and it's just dope. Like he got some real support, and I feel like he's been influential, and those people have been influential in his life too, for sure. Like, but that just shows what type of level DJ Khaled is on. Like he bringing out Jay-Z and Diddy, and like these are all moguls.
Not for real.
Fat Joe.
That's tight.
Yeah, shout out to DJ Khaled. He deserves it.
Definitely deserves it. I mean, he's a big name for sure.
Another one.
Yeah.
Another one.
Like if you ask the average person, they're probably gonna know who DJ Khaled is.
Yeah,
you know?
especially today. Like I seen
He knows how to stay relevant.
Ashanti got one recently, and like Ja Rule and like a few people were at her. So usually it is kind of like it's usually like a whole big deal. Like I feel like a lot of people have them, but like still like a lot of people don't have them at the same time. Like it's still like a sacred thing that people want.
Is that where Snoop Dogg was like, I want to thank me?
Probably. Because he just got his like in the last 2 years, and like Dre and a lot of people were there.
Yeah, and I'm a firm believer though. Like you should definitely take wins and celebrate them in life.
Yeah,
you know
give
what I mean?
people their flowers while they're here. I'm just thinking like that's kind of like the American like Hall of Fame type deal. Like that's what I feel like it's kind of equivalent to, right?
Yeah. I mean, you're gonna be there forever.
Yeah, exactly. You're like engraved in history, man, for America.
No, that's a good point because they're all the way in California, and Jay-Z and Diddy, they from New York.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
And Fat Joe.
Khaled's a Miami boy.
And Khaled. So yeah, that's definitely like the American Hall of Fame.
That's dope. Shout out to Khaled.
DJ Khaled.
I guess this would be something to celebrate too.
You
Y'all
the
see
best. Who?
Jennifer Lopez is officially back with old Batman.
No,
Ben
I'm
Affleck officially engaged.
I'm Batman.
How do y'all feel about spinning the block and going back to your exes to find love?
Bro, it's weird. So like this was on earlier and my mom was watching it. And I was like, it's weird one that we care about this stuff. About celebrities and what they're doing. Because it's like everywhere. But also it also made me feel like I'm like, dang, marriage, does it really matter, bro? When you get married.
J-Lo's been married a few times, and every time she step out of it, effortless. Like, I'm on to the next one. She go bigger and bigger to the next baller.
Dang,
I'm still Jenny from the block.
But it's crazy. She went like backwards instead of going to somebody.
That's what I was just gonna say. That's unique for sure. But maybe that really meant to be, because I'm a believer too. Like you should, if you let something go and it comes back, maybe that's what's meant to be. Bro.
If you 50, 55, 60, you just never know. You never know when that love will come. What's funny, bro, the funniest thing, you were watching the game last night, the basketball game.
Yeah.
Alex Rodriguez is a co-owner of Minnesota.
Oh, bro, I seen this. I think I know what you're talking about. The dude that made the joke?
Nah, he was like on the sidelines, hella lit. But it's funny because J-Lo is his like most recent ex. Like they were married. I just found out they had a kid together. But
I didn't know that either. That's crazy.
You know when your ex you got the news, your ex got a baby on the way, or your ex is engaged and happy. He trying to act like he was like with the boys. He had on all black. He was like giving people the fives. I'm like, oh, Alex over there lit. He trying to act like he don't care. He like on the boys trip, like, let's go. Like he got he was hype over there on that sideline. I was like, Alex, you're a little too hype over there.
They got a kid together for real?
Yeah, they were just married, bro.
Dang, that's crazy. I was going to answer your question about spinning the block, but not like that.
What do you mean?
I wouldn't be Ben Affleck.
Mm.
Is that how you say his name? Affleck?
Yeah.
Affleck. Like the commercial, the Affleck commercial. But, yeah, I don't know. I ain't feeling spinning the block, especially, nah, I'm good.
Going back to Alex Rodriguez, though, I feel like I've been there, bro. So I feel him, bro. Hey, I feel
He's
you,
good.
Alex.
I'd rather be Alex Rodriguez than Ben Affleck for real.
You know he hurt though. He feeling some type of way.
Nah, that's what I'm saying. I've been there where you just, you out there
You
with
trying
the
to numb
boys.
it out. Yeah, he was over there dapping people up on the layups. I'm like, she had the little small tee on. I'm like, bro, you're in Minnesota. There's no way it's that warm out there. He was out there trying to show the guns. I was like, A-Rod is hilarious,
You
bro.
know he's just trying to do anything and everything, bro.
Yeah,
He's like,
I don't care about her. Like, J-Lo, who? He out there with the boys. I thought that was so funny last night. Every time they zoomed in him, he had a cup, and he was high-fiving people. Like, he was looking for the hoes. I know that look. A-Rod was out there looking for the hoes. But deep down, I know he was scarred because only scarred men wear all black. For sure. That's the scarred season. He coming out the chambers like, nah, I'm a bad boy now. That's like the bad boy season. I know that look. Shout out to A-Rod. Shout out Affleck too.
That was fast for them. No?
that shit is fast, bro. I agree.
But they're like, fuck it, we just add our other years to the
Exactly.
current years.
And that's the thing for women too that I've heard. We'll have to bring this up again when we actually have a woman here. But like sometimes they prefer to go backwards because it doesn't add on to the body count. Like they're like, if I go backwards, then I'm not more of a hoe because I already like hit this person. So like technically it's already a body. And I'm like, I get the thinking.
See, here's my issue as a man.
Especially if you go back to somebody that's comfortable. It's like,
But my thing is how, like, maybe this is me just thinking. But what I would be thinking if I'm Alex, so how long were you talking to him? You know what I'm saying? Like that, I don't know. You had to keep a relationship somehow, some way. That'd just be having me thinking. That's crazy.
Body count. That's crazy. That girls think like that. It's our fault.
it's your fault.
It's not my fault. I don't care about body count.
Yeah, me either.
Nah, yeah. I mean, we all just people.
We're just ordinary people.
Did you guys see Tiger Woods made a comeback this weekend?
Bro, I saw a commercial
With Schoolboy Q?
Yeah,
That shit was cold.
I was like, is Tiger coming back?
Yeah, and even if he wasn't, I'm like, damn, this shit's cold. As I look it up, it looked like Tiger was 47th. I got an update. It was like a new dude that won, S. Schefter. I don't know. S. Schefter. I don't know who that is. But it was a big thing because he just came off the injury. Remember when he got in the car crash?
Yeah.
This was kind of like his first time back from that. So it was good to see. I mean, Tiger's always going to be Tiger. It was good to see him out there on the hardwood or on the grass.
On the hardwood.
Right. You know where my mind's at.
Like you said, it's good to see him back out there doing what he clearly loves to do. He's done it his whole life. But I don't think he has nothing to prove. Like he could go out there freely. I think right now it's just making sure can he be healthy enough because he even had issues before he had that
He's always
accident.
kind of injured, low key.
Yeah.
And it'd be weird because it's golf. It's like, bro, how are you getting injured? But it's like still professional golf. So like at the highest level, I get it.
Well, and just also think like swinging. You're swinging, doing
Nah,
that over
facts.
and over and over
Power.
is gonna have an effect on your body.
Jarrell, you brought up the commercial. Have you seen the commercial?
I haven't. No.
And they show clips of him like when he was swinging and his back was hurting, or he like swung and his I don't know if it was a broke leg, but it was like something was wrong with his leg and he was like swinging and then he would like break down right after. And I'll play it during intermission. It was dope. It was Schoolboy Q over the narration and everything, and it's cool because I don't know what new vibe this Schoolboy Q is on, but it's like this fool's at peace for sure. Soccer dad, he's playing golf every day.
Bro, this is the best week for music. We'll get into music, I know, but
This is the best year,
bro,
man.
but
Already.
this week though,
It's
like
been great.
did soccer dad make the cut? I think it did.
Last week.
No, we played that last week. Yeah, we played it. Yeah.
I'm gonna just throw it in this week.
But I don't know if we mentioned it on air though.
Bro,
So it's
I
just,
don't know.
No, we did. You played it.
it's still good to see him. Like TDE still outside.
Yeah,
I think SZA's
definitely.
probably gonna drop next. It's been her turn for a while, but
A single or album?
an album. She dropped plenty of singles already.
It's all of TDE. They've
True.
only been having like one or two people release, bro.
But I'm like, Reason, they can't stop Reason from dropping Reason like shit. I got music. Like, nigga, where is everybody else?
So many people off TD.
This is the year. Drop it.
I know.
Drop it.
Kendrick going
Drop
to Rolling
2.
Loud for no reason, maybe. But he can't step on SZA. I'm on. SZA got to drop sooner than later. She got to drop in like May. I can see a May for SZA. The Academy officially banned Will Smith for 10 years for his infamous slap on our bruv Chris Rock. Do y'all feel like this was justified? Do y'all feel like this was a fair sentence for our good brother Will?
It just means he can't appear. That's it. He just can't attend. So, yeah, that's cool.
I mean, I still kind of disagree. There's a lot of people that are doing way worse than what he did. I think what hurts this situation is the fact that it was on live television for the world to see.
Bro, still nobody thinks it's real.
But,
like, it's still hard to be like, damn, did Will Smith really smack this fool?
Yeah, that shit could have been a
it's still
gig,
like,
bro.
damn.
I don't know. But I think that's why it plays against him, is because literally people have seen it. But we know people that have done a lot worse in Hollywood that aren't banned from this stuff. So, I mean, I guess I don't know. I think what hurts him is the fact that it was on live television. The rest of the stuff that you hear about people in Hollywood is usually behind the scenes sort of stuff.
So I feel like they had to do something. I was maybe looking at like a 5 to 7, but I mean 10. That's got to make an example. But it's great that Jarrell made the specification that it's just attending, so he could still win awards.
Yeah.
But I seen somebody else say it took him 20 years to win his first award.
Right.
So he was like, what the hell is 10 more years? Like, I don't really mess with y'all anyways. Like,
he's like, I got mine.
Yeah.
I made a statement.
Yeah.
Y'all gonna remember it forever.
Keep my wife's name.
Like, I will quietly win awards.
What Chris Rock say? Gosh, dude.
He said, I
Really?
will, dude.
Really, dude?
He said it's a G.I. Jane joke. But do you feel like it's justified?
I do.
Yeah, y'all both. Like I said, I feel like they got to make a statement. I mean,
I'm like half and half on it, because I still feel like bro, they need to start cracking down on people that have actually been like in legal court, been like in trouble for something.
it just starts like, all right, if you're gonna ban him for this, then what else you gonna start banning people for? And It's like, I get it.
I mean, I feel like they're just making sure nothing else happens
True.
at their awards.
True.
Touche.
Setting the precedents. Like, if you get up here and start slapping people, you're not gonna be able to come.
I mean, even Will was like, yep, I accept.
Mm.
Yep, that's definitely justified. I agree.
I think it's interesting
because that was reckless behavior. Nobody expected me to do that. I didn't even expect myself to do that. He was like, so yeah, ban me for 10 years because I might act out again.
If you talk about my wife,
because I got away with it once.
Yeah, if you talk about my wife,
somebody might try me again.
Nah, I don't know. I still feel half and half on it.
Nah, I get it.
I feel you. I mean, you right in the middle, anyways. What is Volume 1 and 2? What does that mean?
Let's get into some shows, man. We just watched the official trailer for Stranger Things season 4. Volume 1. I like the Volume 1, Volume 2 thing, but you know what I was thinking about the other day? Where the hell is Volume 2 of Ozarks? I thought we forgot about that shit, huh?
Nah, it comes out here soon. I want to say maybe that's the end of April. I'm gonna look it up.
I forgot. I'm like, damn, did they think we like Ozarks? I'm like, they just thought we were just gonna forget or what?
Yeah, April 29th.
Okay, so we still got a couple weeks, but we just watched the official trailer for
Stranger Things.
Stranger Things. Well, what are you guys' initial thoughts about the trailer, and about Stranger Things altogether?
I like Stranger Things. It's always been a show I've gotten into. It's crazy. I was like, dang, they're coming out with another one. Like you said, they're gonna be old. But
that's gonna be the last one.
Is it? Are you calling it?
I'm calling it.
why?
Did you not just watch the trailer, bro?
Everybody's dying.
Yeah. Did you see the boss come down, bro?
And I think maybe because it took so long for them to make it, it might be the last one. Like, everybody's so much of a star in their own right now. It's hard to get that big a star. It's the Game of Thrones syndrome. Like, it's hard to sit them all down at the same time.
So they're gonna lose, and it's gonna be over.
Nah, 11's gonna help them in some way. They kind of made that.
They're gonna win, and it's gonna keep going.
Nah, bro, it's gonna end somehow. Maybe 11's gonna sacrifice herself somehow.
They're gonna spin it off. It's not gonna be the same people, but remember, well, she's 11, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Like there's more experiments, and they got into that in the second or third season when there was the other one.
So
they're following.
You think that's who they're fighting, or they're gonna come help?
They're gonna help probably,
and they're fighting one.
Probably like a deviant type deal. How do you guys feel about the volume 1, volume 2? Because I know you always be like, nah, I want to binge it all right now. Yeah. But me and Darrell were kind of falling on the side of, nah, we like the anticipation from week to week.
So it's like almost like they're giving us a little mix of both.
What do you feel about it,
nah,
Mr. Binger?
Why not just call it a new season? Why are you playing
Straight
with me
Binger.
Like that? Just give me the whole thing.
And it depends
Bingeroni over here.
And it depends how they cut it down. Like, is it going to be half and half? Is it like 7-3 thing? Is it like 7-5? Like, how many episodes is it total?
But it said May 27th, and then June 1st. That's a week later. Or, yeah, a week later.
July.
Oh, it said May and July?
I'm pretty sure it said July.
That better be long episodes, bro. If they only, because that's going to give us 4 or 5 weeks.
Oh, the first half of season. That answers my question.
July.
I just need to read.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, never mind. So that's 2 months.
So,
away.
half and half, huh?
I feel like they're going to do 6 and 6.
That'd be great.
That's what I'm
But
hoping.
yeah, they're usually like 40, 45-minute episodes.
I like how they're doing that. Yeah.
Stranger
it out.
Things, honestly.
With that being said, I think this might be the last one.
Honestly,
doing it like that.
Stranger Things has always been, if not in top 5, in like my top 10 shows, I think undoubtedly has to be like in my top 10. I think it's unique. I think the kids, everyone kind of fell in love with the kids. I think when it first dropped, like the storyline, they can go so many different ways with it. It was like kind of like a mind fuck in a way, the way they kind of brought things away or brought things up. Like it's such a unique story. The upside down and with the experiments, like there's so many layers on it. I think through and through, this is like such a good show. And honestly, it hurts when it takes you so long to bring back a show. Season 3 had to be 2-3 years ago, at least 2-3, maybe 3-4. But
definitely before the pandemic.
I think that means they got to get it right. Like that means they're taking their time. They're making sure the script's right, making sure every scene's right. So I mean, hopefully they do it right. And I feel like the kids aren't going to get worse. Like they're just going to continue to get better actors. So I got hope for Stranger Things 4.
How did you feel about the 3rd season, though? Because I felt like that was the weakest one out of
Definitely.
Yeah.
It threw a wrench in it.
Okay.
That's why they have to come back with the bang for this.
For sure.
But like you're saying, I think I have to rewatch because it was so slow. Like I don't really remember much, to be honest. I really don't. I remember like the Russian part and like it threw me off.
What's the one where her nose was bleeding?
Everyone?
I was like, what? Whenever she uses her power, what you thought?
You mean every episode?
Trick question.
Shout out to Stranger Things. But like I said, let's get into some shows. What else you guys been watching recently? Here, I'll go with something that kind of threw me off guard since y'all are munching.
Shit is fire.
The Tom Brady, Man in the Arena.
I
You watched it?
All 9 episodes in like 2 days.
What?
That was like the only thing I watched for like a
You
while.
should have told us.
Well, I'm telling you now, so we can like come back and because it caught me off guard. Like, of course, it's Tom Brady. We all like Tom Brady, but like,
Have y'all? It's good.
just the way he thinks about stuff. It's like on some LeBron. He's literally the GOAT, bro. So like, getting in the mind of a GOAT, and they interview like Michael Strahan. They interview a lot of his teammates, and it starts with him getting drafted. But you know, 2003. Was it 2000? I was 8 years old. 2001, kind of with the tuck, and when the Patriots won their first Super Bowl. I don't really remember much about like the storyline and the dramatics. Do you guys?
Bledsoe got hurt. He came in like I think it was near the end of the season. Kind of on like
no, it was like the second game. Well, it was kind of early, but it was Tom Brady's second season, but it was pretty early.
Okay, but I knew Drew Bledsoe got hurt and then he took over.
That's all I pretty much knew.
Yeah,
but Drew Bledsoe was a stud.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Like
people were shocked.
Yeah, he was a stud, bro. Do you know much about kind of the story in 2000? That was like right when I started really watching and paying attention to football.
You talking about 2000? He was already the starting quarterback.
Who?
Tom Brady.
No, Drew Bledsoe was the starting quarterback at first.
Okay, yeah. And then I remember them battling it out in like camp. And like Tom Brady always showed what he had, but Drew Bledsoe was already the quarterback. And Belichick I feel like he was just waiting for Tom Brady to have opportunity as well as Tom Brady was just waiting for his opportunity too. They both seen it. I feel like they both seen it.
Well, and also Belichick was still like a newer head coach at that time.
Kind of, exactly. Yeah. I feel like nobody's seen it because Drew Bledsoe was like Josh Allen, bro. And it's crazy because he got traded to the Bills afterwards. But
well, I don't know what I saw because I haven't watched it, but I saw
it goes in kind of detail. So it's kind of like I was saying that to say like I wasn't really aware of like as detailed as it was and how Belichick was kind of like a newer head coach, and the way that the Patriots were like they haven't won since. Or didn't win before Belichick, but like how he was kind of like an assistant, and then they went to like some pretty big head coaches, and then he kind of moved up, and then they got fired, and then they just brought him in kind of like, let's just see what he has. He's really just like a whiz kid. And then with the Drew Bledsoe, like he got hurt, but he was like, it was like the second game. He's a stud. He almost wins MVP like the year before. And then they have Tom Brady. He's like a 7th round draft pick, bro. They don't expect him to keep starting. They're like, when Drew comes back, he's going to be the starter. Everybody thinks this. Drew Bledsoe's like, I'm ready to come back. So it was super controversial once Drew was healthy. And then Bill Belichick was always Bill Belichick. He was like, just going to have to take it week by week. I don't really know what we're going to do, but, Friday we'll game plan. And then they ended up going with Tom. And Tom wasn't really even like killing like that, bro. Like, to be honest, he's always kind of been like that game manager, especially at that time. They had young Peyton Manning.
A great defense too.
Yeah, they had that's all he gives credit to the defense. That's the dopest part. He gives everybody credit. But like they had Peyton Manning in the league. So they had like some real young studs who were kind of like the name. Tom Brady, nobody thought Tom Brady was going to be this guy. And it was his second year. Drew Bledsoe gets hurt. He's ready to start. Kind of controversial. And they just keep going with Tom Brady. And he's just a winner, bro. He's like a Garoppolo. Like, you don't know what it is, but they just win. And then he ends up making it to the playoffs and
balls out.
Kind of balls out. He gets hurt, kind of like AFC. This was, do you guys remember the tuck rule when it was snowing and he threw it, but like he kind of held on to it and then he fumbled? Yeah. And they said like, because it was a forward motion and he tucked it. Yeah, basically. And it was like, that was John Gruden in the Raider days. But the game before that, they were playing against somebody cold. And Tom Brady gets hurt. Drew Bledsoe comes in, kills. Or is that his name, Drew Bledsoe? Yeah. Yeah, Drew Bledsoe comes in, kills. So they're like, damn, maybe Drew Bledsoe's back. Because Tom Brady's hurt. Bill Belichick's like, we're going to have to see. Goes with Tom still, bro. He's like, I think he didn't like Drew Bledsoe or something. So, but it was so random. And then after that, they're like, yeah, Tom's the man. So they end up trading Bledsoe. And they win that year, though. That second year they win off the field goal kick. But it was kind of crazy to see, like, Tom have the early success. He won 3 in a row. And then he didn't really win for like 10 years. Like, he went against the Giants. Like I said, he has different people getting interviewed. Michael Strahan talking about like the whole time, and the Giants were like the super underdog. That was the year they were undefeated the whole year with Randy Moss. They interview Randy Moss. They have that. And then he finally ends up winning again in 2004. Who did they play? The Rams? No. I can't remember. But he wins number 4. Then they go against Atlanta. Wins number 5. And then he goes, no, they lost against the Eagles. Who did they beat?
Seahawks.
The Seahawks. Yeah, because that was the year the Seahawks won the first year. And then they came right back. So they're like, yo, Seattle is a monster. And that was the year Marshawn Lynch was supposed to get the handoff.
But they threw the pass on Butler.
And that was like the first time they won in like 13 years type deal. So it was like, damn, like.
They wasn't even supposed to win that.
Exactly. So he was like another underdog. Like he's kind of been the underdog his whole time.
So he could thank his defense, the kicker, and Marshawn Lynch not
and
getting
Pete Carroll. Even the other people were like, the Patriots were like, you have the best back. Like if I would have ran it 4 times in a row. But he's like, hey, history's already wrote, baby.
Right. Ain't no need to talk about it.
But yeah, he wins 3 out the gate, comes back, wins number 4 against Seattle, wins number 5 against Atlanta, and then
that one was deserved
for sure. The comeback,
they
they won against the Rams. The boring one was like 13-3 with Jared Goff, number 6, and then it kind of cuts off because it only goes through his Patriot time. But then he goes to Tampa and gets number 7, bro. For some reason, I thought he had 6 rings. This man has 7 Super Bowls. What
he
the?
just got number 7. That's why he was done. And he came back.
And then
He's like,
he comes
I'm
back,
gonna get
bro.
number 8.
But it interviews like his undercover guy who does a lot of his like workouts, and it kind of goes through their turmoil with the Patriots and how he was on the sideline, Alex Guerrero, and then they kicked him off the sideline. And they talk about how a lot of the Gronk and Edelman were kind of going to him instead of going to the team doctors, and it kind of like started this rift. But Tom Brady's whole thing was pliability, flexibility. He doesn't like lift weights and stuff, but he's trying to show like he can go this route instead of like the traditional lift weights route and still like go farther than what he's trying to like prove a point. Mm-hmm. And even through the documentary, he says that. So then when I see he unretire, I think that's his whole thing. Like he's trying to show y'all like this whole new method of, he calls it pliability. And the basic thing he says, it's the ability to fold a lot without breaking, or the ability to be super elastic without breaking.
It's interesting that you bring that up because when I was in high school playing football, there was this person that Ray Key and I would actually go and work out with. And that was one of the main things that he would always tell us. He was like, flexibility is the most important thing in this sport. He's like, because if you could take a hit and have your ligaments bend in a certain way and be ready to take that sort of impact, it's going to save you in the long run more than anything else. He used to always stress that so much, how important stretching is.
He says Willis McGahee, he brought Alex Guerrero to him first, but he like was supposed to have surgery in his elbow, went to go see this guy for 3 days, problem gone. And he kind of, Alex Guerrero gets into his methods, and he kind of talks about more holistic, and he talks about blending Eastern medicine with Western medicine. Western medicine basically being like American traditional, and then Eastern more like Asian and more like holistic herbal type deal. And he's like, he kind of blends them together. But they don't believe in like all the surgeries and going right to the needle. Like sometimes, like Dr. Sabi, you might have to like do this and like flex, and like it's more of a mental thing, he says. And he brought Gronk to him. Gronk had like all these back problems and stuff. Tom brought him to him, and clearly Gronk's still playing. But like early Gronk, this fool was getting. Y'all know they used to hit Gronk because he was so dominant.
Lungs, cracked ribs.
He broke his forearm twice. You got cracked lungs for sure.
Crack.
But he like broke his forearm twice, got it infected. Like Gronk was just all over the place. But he brought him to this guy, and he like sat him down. And like I said, Gronk's still playing. I think he's gonna play this year, especially with Tom Brady being here. But it's called Man in the Arena. Tom Brady. It was on Hulu and Disney. 9 episodes. It was pretty dope.
I'm gonna check that out for sure.
Definitely.
Speaking of Disney, though, I know you've been watching that Moon Knight.
Yeah, I was about
Have you watched it at all, Wax?
I just started it right before I came here, actually. The first episode is trippy. It's all over the place. Like Mark, Steven.
No, yeah. The second episode definitely gives it more stability, and you're like, okay, sure. I see where they're going with it.
You have to give me control.
So and there's only 6 episodes, so I'm sure the third episode even goes more into the story, and it just breaks it down more.
I'm definitely excited to watch it.
I like the graphics, like the characters are super dope to me. Like you said, I said, who's the main guy with the arrow?
I want to say his name is Khonshu.
And like with the spear, he's crazy. But you said even the costume for actual Moon Knight, when he's like, put on the suit. And then he put on the wrong suit. He was like, what is that?
They kind of define it more. That's Steven's suit, what he thinks of Moon Knight and how it's created. But then
just because it's like literally his perspective. Like it's the different
alter ego.
Yeah, it's a guy. And they even talk about that. He's like, your mind is susceptible to be taken over because you struggle with this mental illness. And like I said earlier, I think it's like multiple dissociation disorder, where you have multiple personalities, basically.
But
So because he already struggles from this personality, he was kind of possessed by this entity is what I'm getting from it. And
like
it just
kind of taking advantage of him in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because he breaks it down. He's like, all those failed relationships. He said, I can't even keep a plan alive. And he's like, this whole time, it's been you. He's like, I thought I was just crazy. He's like, you've been taking over my mind. It's just crazy how they kind of go into like the super mental health of it. Like, it's dope.
What I think it's going to go leading towards is those two are going to find a way to work together.
And he's going to be able to like go here to here to here to here and like be able to control how he splits
or
it.
they just come to agreement who's going to control it when they need to control it.
I like that.
Or, yeah, is what I would say. But I think that's one of the better shows out right now.
Yeah, I was about to say, you said you've been watching, you watched all the shows this week. What else you watch?
I got caught up on Abbott Elementary. Besides the season finale,
Me either.
I
I
think
haven't
comes out
seen it.
tonight. I think
Well, it's on today. It came out yesterday.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So it's out there. But I've been seeing a lot of people talk about it on Twitter, and I hear it's good.
Bro, the principal, she's my favorite character, bro. I can't. She's
funny.
hilarious, bro.
But you seen the last episode when she was about to get fired.
Yeah,
and she had to like crack it down. She had the robots coming in. And she said, what, this is Ava 1, Ava 2, and Ava 3.
Well, then it's also interesting, too, because I don't know his name in the actual show, but everyone hates Chris.
Yeah, Tyler J. Williams.
Yeah, how he wanted to be that.
Yeah.
So there's that dynamic, too.
That's why I'm like, damn, are they going to give it to him? Because the superintendent was like, yo, if you're still interested, we might be able to like help you out and let you have it.
But they can't get rid of Ava.
That's what I'm like. What I thought was going to happen is maybe she was going to get fired from principal, but she can't get fired from the show. So they were going to give her like a different job, or like a dean of students or like something, and let him get principal. But at the end of that episode, she like hired him on, and I was like, what job is he taking? But he just took a full-time role. Mm-hmm. So that's why I'm like, okay, she's definitely probably going to be principal for a while, and he's just going to play that teacher role.
Nah, they can't get rid of her.
Yeah, she's hilarious. She has to run the school, bro. I seen recently on Twitter too, they were saying,
she, just to give her like a comparison, she kind of reminds me of like a Michael Scott.
Once you made the comparison, I was like, I can see that. Just because she overly tries, but it's like 2022's and like her culture is Michael Scott for sure. That's funny. On Rotten Tomatoes, they gave Abbott Elementary 100%.
Wow.
Yeah, and they were like, that's only one of so many shows to ever do that, but they gave it 100%. And while I think it's good, I don't think it deserves that 100%. But I get why they gave it 100%, because when I was telling y'all a few weeks ago, like the ways, first of all, it's so unique. It's never been done before, but it's so relatable, and it hasn't even caught on yet, and it's already been like this successful. So once it really takes mainstream, I think this has
it's
so
the next
much.
Show.
Yeah, it has so much opportunity and people to bring in and different schools. They haven't even got into like there's only like 5 main characters. So once they actually start expanding, it's gonna go crazy.
What platform is it on?
ABC.
Yeah, ABC.
But it also comes on Hulu.
I'm gonna watch it tonight.
Or whatever else you could watch stuff on, probably like YouTube TV and whatever you can watch ABC through.
If it's on Hulu, I'm gonna watch it on Hulu.
Yeah, that's what I watch it on.
And of course, before we get off shows, of course I got to bring up Winning Time.
No, we're not off shows. I got a few other things to bring up too.
Well, I'm gonna bring up Winning Time. Have you watched the new one?
Guys.
Yeah, of course. I told you that's my favorite show on TV right now.
Bro, everything was chaotic. I felt bad for my guy.
Who?
Jerry
Buss.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's interesting to see like what Magic was going through too, and then you also see how him and
I'm just ready for shit to take off already. I'm ready to see stuff like
is Magic still with Cookie?
Yeah, in real life. Yeah,
okay.
They're married. Like their kids are together. Like yeah, he's been with her this whole time, even throughout the everything. Everything.
See, it's going that way. Mm-hmm.
Do you guys watch Snowfall? Did you watch the new episode of Snowfall?
That's the one show I'm not caught up with.
I'm like on my episode 3 maybe.
Bro, this new episode, they were on acid. This dude, Scully, y'all know who Scully is.
Yeah.
Stacy. I'm saying my
He's
name.
always about the religious
say
stuff.
my
Yeah,
name.
now especially
Don't
it's
get me started on them.
spiritual too, because are religious, I guess, but acid's more spiritual, so I don't know. But Jerome and Louis gets married.
Seen that in the title or the like
the little synopsis,
yeah.
and they invite all their family, but also like their business partners and stuff. So everybody's there. Scully's there, and he's just kind of chilling by the hors d'oeuvres and like all the food. And he's like, "What are you doing to that chocolate?" And he's like, "What are you gonna do with all that chocolate?" And she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna cover it in strawberries and feed it to everybody." And he was like, "Everybody?" And she's like, "Yeah, this is usually everybody's favorite." And then it kind of like cuts off. But
yeah, everyone lit on acid.
But I guess he ends up like dosing the chocolate, and
he did that.
Scully and everybody is lit, bro. This episode was hilarious.
He spiked it.
But I've been seeing people say they're not feeling this. Well, I think you said that too. Like they're not feeling this season of Snowfall as much.
I was thinking about it, but it's like it's so hard because you always compare it to like the beginning.
When you fell in love with it.
But it's like
it's never
different now. It's like it's kind of cool to see how the writers go.
And I'm confused about like the CIA dude. Is he like with Reed? Is he?
He came back.
Reed, I don't like Reed. I used to think he was one of the best, but I'm like, all right, I'm over your nonchalant act.
Yeah,
bro.
Yeah. As soon as he started doing cocaine, he was out of there.
Did you?
Well, I don't think he is anymore, right?
Nah, yeah, he's.
I mean, he alright. Once you do it, you do it. I'm just playing.
He's also a white boy. Like that was expected. Remember his brother when he got
died.
captured? Yeah, and they like made him keep snorting that coke, and he was like, "Bro, I can't do this anymore." But
it was all hyped up,
bro. He was like, "All right, I'm on the way." That shit was crazy.
The cops all came.
Yeah, but that was like the inception. We're like, "Yo, this show's kind of good."
Right, exactly.
But now, like, I don't know if y'all seen they got like a tiger, a CGI tiger in backyards.
Yeah.
That fool Reed got shot, and he was still like super nonchalant about it, and
I didn't get that far yet.
Yeah, I don't remember Reed getting shot.
okay, you might be right at that part. Wait, you seen the tiger though?
I'm pretty sure I did. I remember that.
Because they were all like all the like drop offs got set up and ambushed, and everybody was wondering what's going on. But Reed got shot, and then he drove away from them, and then it was Oso and Franklin just together, and they were like, "Damn, why'd he leave us?" And then they ended up running around having a whole day, and then that's when they ran into that tiger in the backyard, and people were pissed at that. That was like episode 5, and they're on 7 or 8 now.
Maybe that's like the one I fell asleep to because it sounds familiar.
Okay, yeah, but yeah, they got ambushed, and that's how they got shot, and people don't really know what. But this LSD episode is pretty dope because I don't know. It's kind of like I told you the last time with Jerome. He's kind of coming to his senses and like realizing that like maybe this isn't right. Like money's not everything. But you know when you're trippy and off psychedelics, like it's an internal battle for sure. So you see kind of everybody going through that internal battle. Franklin's arguing with Franklin. Jerome and Louis are married, of course, so they're like everybody's like telling how much they love each other, and everybody's like reconciling. And I don't know, I like this episode, but it was definitely interesting. It was funny for sure because we've been off acid before, and there was one time where Franklin was saying he didn't know he was tripping. He was like, "What is going on?" But he was just walking around, and then he made eye contact with Uncle Jerome.
They spoke.
No, and then he just ran away. He was like, because he couldn't talk. He didn't know what to do. So he was kind of far. And then Jerome just laughed because he was off acid. He was like, "What the hell is wrong with that boy?" It was funny, bro.
Okay, that actually makes me excited to get to that point.
It was funny. Also was there. He was off the acid. He was dancing all smooth. I was weak, bro. It was all late. I was just laughing. Like, this episode is hilarious. But basically what I got from it was, because the mom was there, she was tripping, and you know what she's going through with the CIA, and yeah, she kind of was like going through. She was watch it because we'll get into it soon. But she sums up with the mom too, with meeting with that CIA agent. I don't really know what's up with her.
Damn, I'm about to watch it, but that sounds super relatable. This acid episode. Way.
All right, man. This dude casting he be pissing me off with this take sometime, bro. I think I seen him tweet. He was like, I thought what's the Spider-Man called?
Far From Home.
He was like,
Or
I thought
No Way Home.
No Way Home was cold until I seen the Batman, and
I
then
seen that.
I was gonna add him, but I was always arguing with casting, so I didn't say nothing. But that leads me to the Batman is coming to HBO on 4/18 this Friday, I think. And I'm like, man, I should have waited to watch that, but it's coming soon.
Monday.
I think it's
Monday? Okay, yeah, 4/18 if I'm not mistaken. The Batman with Zoe Kravitz and Robert Pattinson was officially be out, and I thought that was pretty cool. You guys haven't seen it yet, right? Yeah, so to give more people a chance to watch it, and I'll let you guys formulate your opinion. I think it's gonna be better now that I'm watching it from home and I can actually like pause and break it down. But
I need to watch it at home because I like to watch with closed captions.
me too, so I can rewind. Like if I miss anything, I seen Kev tweet. He was like, if I miss one line, I'm rewinding.
Yeah,
But-
like if I don't understand, at least I
Yeah.
could read like, oh, that's what they said.
I have to understand it because I'm like, what did I miss? What's going on? But I think it'd be cool because Kev texted me too, talking about stop the Batman slander, and I'm like, I don't feel like I was slandering it. Like, what did I gave it as 8, so I didn't say it was bad. I just, for one, I think Spider-Man was like a 9.2, 9.3, so I thought Spider-Man was better, and I just thought it was overhyped is all I said. But I gave it a generous 8, so I still thought it was cool, but it was more like a 7.5, 8. Like, it was a good movie. I'm going to definitely watch it when it comes to HBO.
Yep, and then I'm gonna watch it, and we'll see.
I'm definitely gonna watch it, but I think I'm still gonna agree with you because people were comparing it to Dark Knight and saying it's
hard.
better
It's
and
so
stuff
hard.
like that. I'm like, that's kind of crazy, bro.
All right, I'm hyped to see it. Don't hype me.
What else you guys been watching? You guys said you finished the Bel-air show, right? How do you
Bel-air.
said it's 10 episodes. How do you feel about the re-edition of Bel-air?
For me, I it had my attention the whole time. I'll say that, but I did feel like a lot of like that the key points that happened throughout all of Fresh Prince, they've kind of like hit a good amount of them already. And
Which can be a good and a bad thing because it's like get it out the way, but also like, is it a remake then? If you guys are like already remade it, like
Well, I say they're going quicker because Fresh Prince was a lot of seasons. You know, they don't know how long they're gonna last. So I'm gonna say they did a good majority, like maybe 6 seasons in one, where Fresh Prince is a lot of seasons. But what they did, I think it was a good job. They did a good job. They did it quick. They did their own little routes, but kept it like kind of the same.
kept it 2022 is I think what was the biggest.
it
Definitely
was
kept
definitely
it
more
2022.
relatable to
Yeah.
today. Yeah.
Yeah, I liked it.
And I do like how they like revamped the characters a little bit. Maybe not revamp's not the right word, but they changed the characters to
And
maybe
they did
you
it
were
like
saying.
they did it right.
Put
I
the-
mean,
yeah.
Put their own little twist on it.
yeah.
um
Who are you guys' favorite characters in Bel-air?
Mine is Jazz and Will.
why am I drawing a blank right now, bro? We just talked.
Hillary?
Yeah, Hillary.
Yeah, I love
Yeah.
Hillary.
Hillary.
I love that she's dark skinned, but she be dressing for sure. She's still like prissy, but I love that she actually like has a talent now, and she's
For
actually
sure.
smart. Like the old Hillary
For
was dumb
sure.
as hell.
and like super ambitious. But I
Yeah.
mean, Hillary did get ambitious at some point.
She
during
was
Fre-
just naturally
Yeah.
like.
But I
but she
definitely
was,
like her
She was
character.
definitely ditzy.
You know me, I like to cook, so I instantly like related with her, and I was like, all right, that's dope that she's out here trying to do that.
She's on her own, trying
Yeah.
to make a market and do different things.
I
I like Jazz,
like Jazz too,
and I like the fact that he's still musical. He like owns the shop, the music shop, and he's like a hustler too.
when they kind of changed his character too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think they definitely I bet you where people may have like criticized Fresh Prince, they probably took note and were like, all right, we're gonna make these critiques to these characters to make them a little different.
Exactly, like the dark skin,
Awards
light
can go either
skin,
way. Rookie of the year.
light skin, dark skin Aunt Viv conversation,
Mhm.
or like, why is Uncle Phil and then light skin, and then the other kids are dark skin, and like Hillary's light skin. Like it was kind of awkward, kind of. So like they definitely took that feedback, I think. And Jeffrey's dope. They made him like the hitter.
Yeah, he's like,
He's like the shata.
yeah, bro.
Jeffrey's the shata. I'm like,
Yeah,
well, I
he's-
didn't see that coming.
He's probably like my third favorite character. I
He's
think,
up there.
to be
That's what Will
honest with
Smith
you.
was like. How you know about? He's like you. He said, "Don't worry about it, youngin." I'm like, "Oh yeah, he's a shata. He's a rude boy."
But also, I don't think you've seen it yet. But he gets a more compassionate side to him, especially with Will.
No, that's dope. So he's really okay. That's dope.
Yeah.
Because they didn't really go into old Jeffrey. He was literally just like a butler. So now like they're giving people full character and full character development. So it's dope. I rock with Bel-air. I haven't finished it, but I'm gonna finish it. Especially because we all like hated on it at first. So I give Bel-air its props. It did what it was supposed to do. We talked about Abbott Elementary. What else we been watching? How about Snowfall? Atlanta. Are you guys caught up on Atlanta?
I am, yes.
I love Atlanta, bro. This I was hating on it at first, but like, bro, what they're doing and what he's doing, I was hating on it at first. I was like, oh, they got a new director. Like this new guy is not really hitting the same. And that's what they're saying about Snowfall too. For one, not John Witherspoon. The creator of Snowfall passed away. John Singleton passed away, so they don't really have their originator doing a lot of the things.
I didn't know that.
And he was like the guy who did Boys in the Hood and a few other legendary stuff. But he also like found Franklin Saint Damson and like took him around California and was like, "Hey, use your accent all day." And it's like, if people don't find out you're British, he's like, you got the role. And John Singleton is from Cali, so he's like taking them to the block and stuff, and he's like making Damson stay in character, like, "Hey, what's up, homie?" And they're like, "Hey, you kind of cool." But then they found out he was British, and they're like, "Damn, did they try to beat you up afterwards?" They're like, "Nah, man, I think because I'm British, they didn't really care too much." But like John Singleton was the visionary, is basically what I'm trying to say. So they might not have that anymore, and just the authenticity. And they say Franklin Saint's story is based off of Freeway Ricky Ross's story. You guys know that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But
now is it still following that?
I was kind of skeptical at first because there was backlash that they were making the story of Freeway Ricky Ross, but the real Freeway Ricky Ross is out of jail. Like, he's alive and well, but they weren't really working with him to do a show about him. So a lot of people were like on the fence and this and that. Of course, they ended up killing it, so people watched anyway. But recently, it came out that they reached out to the real Freeway and wanted to collab and like actually get him in the writings room. So I thought that was interesting. Like a picture of the writer was going around Twitter the other day, and it was like some Asian guy who's like the showrunner now, and they're like, "This is why the show's going to shit." They're like, "He's not tuned in."
Let's make him fly a plane.
Man, there's a tiger in the backyard. It was random, bro. They were like walking around the streets, and then they ran into like some Chicanos, and they wanted to rob them, and they just walked like a couple more blocks, went into the backyard. They got like they got shot with some shit, passed out. They got in, next thing you know, they're in a cage with like a full tiger. I'm like, all right, what's going on here? But I say that to say Atlanta too, they had a new director this year. And I seen Childish tweeting and stuff. I guess some people had some criticism for him. But how do you feel about Snowfall reaching out to Freeway Ricky Ross finally to try and like bring him in the room now, even though it's a show about him? And you say you like Winning Time, but they're not working with like Magic or I don't think they're working with Kareem either. How do you feel about shows doing that to portray other people's story without actually like working with the source? I guess is what I'm trying to say.
I mean, if it's like a portrayal and they're just, I mean, if Snowfall's like Freeway Ricky Ross and they're trying to like make it off his story, I mean, if they're going off, are they basing it off interviews, newspaper articles? So they made up their own story, you know? And it was a hit. Now it's like taking a hit, but it's too late to reach out to him now. What is he gonna say? Like, oh, well,
We could have did this different.
well, yeah, I didn't actually do this.
And I
so-
think John Singleton was probably there. Like, he kind of seen the stories. He's seen him around the hood. Like, yo, that's Freeway. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
so
yeah.
like I said, that's more the visionary. But even with Winning Time, Uriah watches that show a little bit more.
I guess for me, where I sit, if you're doing like a reenactment of like a scenario, there's inspiration in everything. I think most things that are created are inspired from some sort of event. So I don't have a problem with that. I think I would have a problem if it was like a documentary and you're really like explaining and letting people know this is factual information about someone. I would probably have more of an issue. But if you're recreating a story or reenacting it, I don't know if I have an issue with that, especially from a viewer standpoint.
Especially in Hollywood. I get the sensationalism in it. Like, we broke down some of the Magic and Kareem highlights last time, and they're like, oh, that didn't really happen, but it was like they put a little spin on it, or like they got to make it good for TV. So I get it. Like, you got to put a tiger here and there. Like, I don't know if pre-Ray Ricky Ross ever ran into a backyard, but like, hey, let's spice it up a little bit. Here's Hollywood.
And they're not doing anything that the media hasn't already done.
Yeah.
Create some sort of narrative or whatever, you know what I mean?
They're just running with it.
So, yeah, they're just kind of running
like
with
Magic had a lot of females, and he's like smacking everything down.
Yeah.
We know Kareem was super religious and in the Muslim, so he's like super Allah Akbar. Like, I get it. I think it's cool. But like you said, if it is more documentary factual, then it'd be a little... if it's good, though, I'm going to watch it. Because at first I was skeptical about the winning time, because Magic was like, nah, I got my own 4-part series coming out on Apple.
And I'm going to still watch that, too.
And he was like, Jeannie Buss has a show coming on Showtime that's kind of portrayals. And they were like, so you're not watching this? And he's like, my show comes out on Apple. Like, he wasn't acknowledging it. So I was like, I don't know if I'm going to watch it, but it's too good not to watch.
Too good, bro.
So I'm on both sides of the fence. I get it. I definitely get it. Any other movies out there or shows? What?
I did want to say I watched Coda.
What were your thoughts? You remember me talking about Coda? Is it Coda or Coda?
Coda.
Do you remember me talking about?
Remind me a little bit.
It was the movie that won the Oscar, but it was the first time that
streaming platform?
An individual streaming platform has won the Oscar for Best Film of the Year that didn't go to like theater or Sundance or anything like that.
Mm-hmm. So what'd you think about it?
I honestly thought it was a good movie, bro. I'll give it in the grand scheme of all movies and what I like, I'm more of an action person, but I'd still give this it's a solid 8. Like it's very, very solid.
Definitely worth the watch.
Yeah, definitely worth the watch. And that's me taking in consideration of all movies. Like that's a solid 8. So I think that's a very good score, especially because that's the type of movie it is. It's not necessarily like my cup of tea all the time.
Right.
But
it was a different story. Like, it was something that I wouldn't think that I would be into, and I was like, oh, this is kind of good.
Yeah.
So I can only imagine like people who can relate a little bit more, like, yo, this is a phenomenal
the
movie.
dad was hilarious.
Remember when I was telling you about the rap music?
Bro, that was hilarious.
He said, it feels good on my butt. I don't know.
Nah, you didn't even get to some of the other parts that this would have me dying.
And she was stinking, but like her family didn't like tell it because they like worked on the fish farm. So it was weird seeing her like nothing to something.
Did you see when he went to the doctor?
And they were like, no sex. Or she said,
he
no.
was like, how am I supposed to do that? You see her?
Exactly.
I'm like, this was
They're like,
funny,
no sex.
Bro.
The doctor said no sex for a week or something. And he was like, so you can't have sex ever again or for 3 years. And they were pissed. They were like, what the? But they're also deaf. So they be having sex and they don't realize how loud they are.
Yeah. So you saw that part too. Yeah.
And they were like upstairs trying to like
and then
record.
I was like, what?
No, it's hilarious because they are like, they don't care. Like, they're just living their life.
Nah,
they're
they
so
said-
at peace with
Bro,
everything. They have a nice paying job. They're so comfortable. And even the brother is deaf, right?
All of them, everyone but her.
And he was mad that she was like stepping in on some of his deals. And she's like, no, like, demand more. Like, y'all are so comfortable to getting this when there's people down the road like who are demanding more for the same stuff. So it's dope to see her perspective and how she's coming in and like changing stuff.
But I did recognize what you were saying, and that's kind of the theme of it. She carries a lot of burden for them because she can hear everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And she's the translator for literally everything for
She's
them.
the go-to.
Yeah. So like, and then she was caught in between being with her family, like you said, and helping them with their business, and then also music and chasing that and getting to a school,
Her own
musical
individuals.
school. Yeah. So I highly recommend it. Yeah, it's a good movie. And I'm more of like I said, I'm more of an action person. Like I like action, I like horror, stuff like that. This was definitely a different vibe, and I liked it.
I need to finish it.
It was low key kind of sad too. I
haven't went back to it because I got stuck on the Tom Brady, but I definitely it's on my list. I want to watch that Batman 2 now. I just want to get super duper high and watch it because
Batman.
It was dark and stuff. It was super dark. I'm like, where are all the lights at? Remember that Game of Thrones episode where it was just fighting and it was all dark? That's what it was like.
That was The Long Night or whatever it was
It
called.
was so dark. But the Riddler's character was dope. I'm not going to hold you. The Riddler was pretty cool.
No, I'm definitely going to watch it. That's probably Monday. Yep. Sunday at midnight.
Any other shows, or should we get into some music? They say this guy, the King of Toxic, is coming back 4/29, and he was like, "Of course, I got Ye on there." I said, "Oh, that's all you need to say. I'm tuning in." He got on the Ye boots too. For those that don't know, we talking about Future Hendrix.
I'm not gonna lie, I'd probably tune in even if he didn't have Ye.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's Future. You kind of got to.
But I wonder, is Ye gonna have like some production on here? Okay.
Too. And well, I don't know. That's what I wonder too. Hopefully he's executive producing the whole thing, kind of like he did for Fabio and a couple other folks. Like just let him air the whole thing. But he says he's dropping April 29th, so he's coming this month. We got a lot more music in store. We got a verse from J. Cole. We got the Soccer Dad. We got Pusha T still on the way.
Verse from Jay-Z.
Like, you know it's special when the verse from Jay-Z come out because he don't come outside often. So I'm like, bro, I don't know. This might.
Yeah, that was probably my favorite song this past week. I kept bumming that song.
Had to.
I definitely start the day with that song. Always.
My neck. I'm like, dang, do I need like a Rolex or something? Like my neck and wrist don't lie either, baby. What the hell? But J. Cole, bro, the run that he's on right now, honestly, reminds me of Lil Wayne's run whenever he had his.
Everybody was calling on him.
5, like every feature he touched. J. Cole hasn't had a bad verse ever, but like definitely in the past 5 years, everything since Forest Hills Drive has been ridiculous, bro. And I can't be the only one that's paying attention to this.
He's killing every single verse, bro.
It doesn't matter who it's with. 21 Savage, Moneybagg Yo. It doesn't matter who he's with, bro.
And he matches their vibe and energy, and he kills it. He's like, "Oh, that's a vibe we on? Yeah, let me show you."
Bro, he's making a claim to be on the Mount Rushmore of all time.
For me, it's always been Kendrick Cole. But it's hard to go back and forth when I ain't got a Kendrick verse.
There's a Cole,
compare,
old Cole now.
Right, no, because I mean, he got verses. He dropping mixtapes. He got a whole label behind him. J. Cole is just on some different stuff right now.
He's been active, bro.
And honestly, I compared him to Cole for one. I compared her to Wayne. They both got the dreads, but that Young Money, Dreamville, like he's taking that similar path too. And I don't know if he got the next Drake, Nicki, and Tyga, hopefully, but like I see the similarities, bro. I see the similarities.
You had to say who would be his next Drake?
It would have to be JID, right? That's who he says. And Wayne came out claiming Drake is the next Wayne. So I feel like the way that Wayne passed him the torch, it would have to be JID, especially in today's rap world too. Like he kind of has what these youngins is looking for. He has the aesthetic. He can do the rock vibe and be the rock star, but he also is like a super rapper. I don't know. For me, I feel like it would have to be JID.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, he's definitely the most versatile. Like you just said.
Yeah, should we play the London? They said London Cole is
crazy.
They said London Cole hit
we
a
need
different.
more London Cole.
How about
We just need a whole mixtape of the
and Cole collab
London.
And that's a little 5-piece.
Call it the London tape. London Part 2. Where's it at?
And it was a dope video, like you said. Like they had the unique camera effects. You had to really be in London, right?
And can we also say this fool J. Cole's dreads are going crazy.
It's funny because she posted a picture of who might be featured, and it was just kind of like shadowed out.
You knew who it was.
A lot of people did, but I was like, nah, I don't know. The dreads looks a little different, and a lot of people were like, nah, that's Cole, that's Cole. And I was like, being Cole, I don't see it, and for sure it was J. Cole.
That's crazy.
I forgot who I said.
You think he'll ever cut it?
Why?
I don't think he will.
Yeah, at this point, you got a family.
I mean, some people do. They'll just randomly cut
just to
that
keep
shit.
them in the
Yeah.
box.
I'm like, y'all, what are y'all talking about?
Please don't go ahead and ring on my finger, but yet I'm still killing them single-handed. Drum on a gun like I'm Ringo. I'm in this bitch with no chain like I'm Django. We from the ends where they know that they can't go. She go both ways, so I'm tasting a rainbow. Yummy, they got no more bread, they're crummy. The same way that Mello was staring at Riz, the way that I stare at the money. I'm ready to risk it, all if I lift it, bet I won't miss it. You a statistic, thought shit was sweet till we popped up and popped off the top of your mystic. I go ballistic, hopped out the drop, got the jump on the up, now I'm opportunistic. I like to shop in the district, copping this, copping that, I'm proper capitalistic. Dreamer, running the game in my signature trainers. Balenciaga for joggers,
Twice, 2 weeks in a row.
Got no limits, should have a tank on my pendant. Blokes going broke trying to keep up with Cole, but I make it back soon as I spend it. Maybach tinted, excuse me sir, but ain't that rented? I'm offended, straight cash for my Benzes. We don't pay back interest, aim at fences when I swing. Pay respects and kiss my ring. Even Elizabeth said I'm king. Well, he's bloody well right, isn't he? Why would I choose between this one or that one when I know that I can have both? I laugh at these rappers for capping, I guess TIP ain't the only one out here with jokes. Mans don't want smoke. I just don't understand. I don't even think they should be allowed to breathe the same air as him, if you ask me.
I'm in London. I like to go and shop at the mall.
Oh, they smoked that. They smoked that. Like I said, there's just so much random energy, so much random good energy to be hype about. And I think that's what you were getting at when you were like, it's just like a lot going on. Yeah, it's just so much positive vibes out right now. I love it. Shout out to London. He said, I might just wear Crocs at the O3 Arena. That's one of the biggest arenas in London. And the fact is, like, he's not lying. I've seen him wear Crocs at the Pepsi Center.
Hey, shout out Crocs.
You got them. You just comfy.
Hella comfy.
Nah, for real, bro. I felt him on that when he said that. I was like, I would do the same thing.
And what sets Cole apart, too, is he's so passionate, too. Like, he cares. He always cares. He always has a backstory. He's so vivid, and like he always paints a picture. He said, just speaking on the feature, he said, I damn near didn't even want to put this clip up because I want everybody to hear the shit pure and how I heard it. He said, I asked Bia to come through the studio for some whole other shit. First time meeting her, we chopped it up. She plays me this new song she just did. Man, mind blown emojis 4 times. He's like, in that moment, I was blown away. I thought about this song for a month straight. It was my favorite song, and I only heard it one time. She hit me recently, sent me the song. She must have knew I wanted to hear it again, and I was just grateful to have it in my possession. He said, when the thought and conversation came up about me adding a verse, I was excited but genuinely nervous because I didn't even see how the song could be better. And after what she did to it, I didn't want to fuck it up or nothing. He said, I'm just grateful I ended up catching the right wave. Thank you, Bia, for having me on this record. I love this shit. I love your energy and spirit. Bia featuring Cole out now. Like, bro, you knew the whole time you was about to rip that beat. That's why it was in your head. She was like, I don't know if I would have had that. But soon enough, like, he got it. But like I said, he cares. Like, he always has like he's just a genuine dude. Everybody you talk to, J. Cole's genuine. He's a real dude. And it just proves. And I think that makes for better music, too. We talked about the DaBaby and the NBA Youngboy and how it might not have been genuine. Like, it was like, let's just do this. It was like a money grab. But when the music is with, like, a genuine connection, Lil Baby and Lil Durk, it's, like, not forced. They're like, yo, maybe we might have something here. Fan of a fan, Chris Brown and Tyga, like.
Right. They was actually in the studio together, you know?
You always say that, but even
each other.
deeper than that, like, it just takes a genuine passion and connection for it to work out. And I think whenever it happens genuine, you can tell in the music.
True.
And I also think respect too goes a long way when you're doing that. You got to respect one another. But going on Cole, just to add on what you're saying, like I genuinely believe he's just an overall great person. Like I think he would treat anyone with kindness. Like that's just the kind of human being he seems like he is.
I agree. He just had the Dreamville Fest in Charlotte. I don't know if it was in Charlotte, but it was in North Carolina, one of the biggest festivals in the country, and he got to do it in his backyard. So another, like, what rappers are really out here doing that? Putting other rappers on the bill. He had Ja Rule and Ashanti. He had I seen a little bit of DJ Drama set with Young Jeezy, T.I., and Lil Wayne. Like,
That's what
he had Lil Baby there. I seen a little bit of his set.
That's tight.
There was a lot of people, so I'm still working my way through the whole festival, but it looked like it was a good time out there in North Carolina.
Wait, did you watch this on Prime?
Nah, it was on YouTube.
Oh, I was gonna say they released it.
Yeah, nah. I was like, damn, I gotta just watch the stream of a stream. Yeah. I think his number's definitely gonna come down though.
Hey, this song is just alright though.
Yeah, he could have definitely kept it. Definitely could have kept that.
I'm glad I'm not the only one with these sentiments, because I was about to come on trashing this song. Why everything doesn't have to be remade, bro? Oh my god, that shit was ass.
Yeah, he definitely went too commercial.
That was a pack of ass cake. I was not feeling it.
Like, he could have kept all that, bro.
I'm like, man, everything doesn't have to. It sounded way better in the snippet.
Like, ain't nobody about
But
to
even
be doing that in the club.
The chorus was
nowhere.
cool.
Where?
After that, it was like
Yeah, but even in the
just a
snippet,
mediocre
it's like, all right, this would be a cool idea, but man, we're
I
not
don't know.
trying
I
to.
thought that. I
But
thought
nah.
it was gonna be cool, but
I thought he was gonna come harder. Pause. But you know what I mean.
But nah, facts. Okay, I'm like, do people like the song? It's the number 3 song on YouTube, so I'm like, it's doing something right. But I'm like, nah, I'm never playing that song after I played it. Then I can't see myself going and click and play on that.
nah, we did that for the show.
But it's probably a good look. But like you said, once you get to a certain level, it's like, all right, I got to go to a pop star. Or what was the argument we always have? Rock star, pop star?
Nah, it's pop,
Pop star, yeah. He's like making a decision. I'm going to that next level. This is going to put me on the radio. That's Chaos. That has KS 107.5 vibes written all over it.
Bro, that's radio vibes. Okay,
So it's
that's
gonna be
where-
it's gonna be
definitely.
top 40
That's
in-
definitely
for the
a radio
summer,
hit.
and I get it.
He's smart.
Yeah, and I think he made that decision. But
Definitely about to have me doing that randomly. Thanks a lot.
don't look at me and do it, please. But let's get into some music, because a lot of music did drop. Last week was a little slower, but this week we had at least 6 albums that I could easily say were quality. Which one do you guys want to start with?
Start with that Coil Ray. Get that out the way.
Coil Ray dropped Trendsetter, debut album. I know it was big for her. She's been bubbling for a while, so it was good to see her finally drop, especially when you have that label behind you. Sometimes it looks like she signed a Republic. Sometimes they're not going to push you until they have like, okay, it's time. But I think with that Blicky, with that Nicki, they're like, okay, this is the one that she needed. It's time to press the button. So it was good to see at least she got her one to be able to go forward. And I know this was big for her. But there's a few people who dropped their debut album this week. But with the debut, a lot of times, because it's your debut, it's a lot of old music that you just been sitting on, a lot of singles that you just put on here. So that's what I noticed too. It has like the No More Parties, the Twin Them, which is all like, she's such a internet artist, bro. Like, these are all TikTok songs. Big Purr. But I was like, even Blick, I feel like is a TikTok song. But that is one thing I noticed. Like, she put a lot of older singles on here too. I didn't have too much chance to listen to all of it. Like I said, there's a lot of songs, a lot of albums, so this was lower on my list. But I did have a quick run through once everybody was here.
Yeah,
What do you guys?
I ran through it once.
What are your thoughts?
It was cool. I mean, it was cool. Yeah, it's some nice features on there. I'm not gonna play it again, but it was cool.
Well, I haven't listened to it, but I plan on giving it a run through.
At least to
just
try. Me too.
Yeah. But what I would say about her, I would say about her though is I do respect her hustle because, like you're saying, she's doing it in different ways. She is like a TikTok star, and she's making a lot of TikTok songs. But I mean, you got to do what you got to do to build your community, build your fans. I do feel like she's getting a lot of traction.
Her album's literally called Trendsetter. So like that's
Exactly.
her thing, is going viral, setting new trends, being this new, fresh. Even that's kind of the gauge I got from her Breakfast Club interview. She was like, yo, I go viral so much, like even though my music might not pop in, she's like, I'm a personality. She's like, I'm bigger than just music. Because they were even asking her, like, she's kind of had her ups and downs, right, with those clips coming out of people not vibing at her concert or this, that, and the third, or people talking about her for being too skinny or whatever it may be. So it's cool to see her fight through all that. Her dad is Benzino, so her like having to go through that and set her own lane. I think it was cool. So I definitely want to check it out. But like Charlamagne and Envy was saying, like it's just not really for me. I don't think she made this with my demographic in mind.
I would agree with that for sure. But you got to respect what she's doing because I would agree with what she's saying. She is a personality.
And she was talking about like she cooks and like she has a YouTube series and a whole bunch of other stuff.
The other thing too, what I would say too is you were talking about like some of the stuff that's came out about her. She's probably learned from being a trendsetter. You're gonna have the good and the bad, but guess what? If you keep posting, people forget about the bad.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
You just got to stay consistent. Like keep going. Shout out to Coi Leray. This one kind of threw us off guard. Full Court Press featuring Wiz Khalifa, Big Crit, and at first it just said "Girl Talk," but then I was like, "Is that Smoke DZA on the cover?" And when I was listening, it had a lot of Smoke DZA. So I'm like, "Is it a Smoke DZA tape too, or what?" But I don't know.
I didn't know what Girl Talk was, but I thought Smoke DZA was just featured on it. I don't know what that's supposed to. I don't.
Me either.
Girl
But there's
Talk?
there's a fourth guy on there, and so it has to be him. But I think
Yeah.
he's the producer, is what I figured.
Okay. Nah, honestly, this was probably one of the albums I listened to most this week. Surprisingly.
I seen a few people saying that, like, this is the album of the year. I was like, wait, what? But I listened to it in the gym, so I have to listen to it like in the car or something.
I don't know if I think it's gonna be the album of the year, but
No,
it's definitely a
people were
surprise
loving
good
this.
album for sure.
It has a lot of great. I mean, once you get Wiz, Big Crit, and Smoke DZA together, you know it's gonna be quality.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to listen to it again. If they saying that, they hyping it like that.
What did you think?
I mean, it's cool. I'll listen to it. Maybe it's just too much music, because I was ready to go back to other albums. I was
Same.
like, all right, this is cool. Let's go back to this one. Or let's give this one a try.
See, I listened to it while I was cooking, and so I was just vibing, and it was dope to me.
Yeah. Also, maybe I rushed through it. It's too much music, man. It's getting saturated, man.
I feel that
Gotta
because
pace myself.
I was at the gym, like I said. That's kind of what I listen to. If I'm not in the car, I'm probably at the gym listening to it. But I listened to the ESTG and 4-2 first, of course, because it's more upbeat. And
Shit had me lit in the gym.
I was going ham. I was like,
That's
damn,
the one
okay.
I keep going back to.
I was like, let me go back. Let me get this in. Let me try this out. And it just was not giving me the same energy. So I had to go back to 4-2 and ESTG. So it kind of like threw me off. I'm like, it's cool, but it's kind of like what you expect. Like it didn't give me nothing that I wouldn't imagine from these.
See, album of the year. That's tough to say, but I think it's a solid. If I would like rate it on a scale of 10, it's a solid 7. Like
I definitely need to grow with it. I even was going to the Fabio for the hype vibes. I was like, dang, there's so much hype music. The Vince, I'm like, I need something more upbeat because I was trying to get this work in.
That Fabio was put together very well. I like it.
I feel like this is his first real album. I feel like everything else has been a mixtape, but this has been like his first
definitely.
quality.
you could definitely tell
With real producers.
you could
real
tell a lot of
artists.
Kanye's influence on a lot of this stuff too, for sure.
That's probably why I like it so much and why it sounds so good.
Fabio Foreign dropped a new album called Bible, Bible. Don't know what it stands for, but clearly looks like it's an acronym. Probably bow in there for one of those B's. If I'm not mistaken, bow. But yeah, like you said, it's I like the fact that it's kind of like the album has direction. Like it's like a concept album, kind of like he kind of stayed on par. He's like kind of talking about the same things, and it's kind of like what I got from it. It was his like survivor's remorse album. Like he's talking about like getting out the hood and struggling through his like his past and what he used to do, but now he's trying to like do a little better, and he's like getting older. Fabio's like 30 or something, so he's kind of an older artist. And he's like you say, he's been out with Kanye, and he's probably like meeting new people and seeing new stuff. So he's like, yo, life is so much farther than Brooklyn and the Bronx or wherever he's from. I'm not sure, but from the block. And he had a song with Alicia Keys. Like he's my age, so he grew up to the New York. Like to have a song with Alicia Keys, it's probably like, yo, I'm doing a lot of things that I never thought was possible. So that's kind of, he has a song with Neo. Like I think he's stepping outside the box, and he's intentionally trying to grow. I think it's dope.
Nah, I think he's gonna be like one of the next like a superstar, pretty much like a star within
in his
rap.
own
Like,
right.
yeah, you can see it kind of forming where he's gonna start taking off more. I think is what's gonna happen.
Once you get that Kanye stamp, it's a wrap. But I mean, look at the features that are on here.
Well, and the production value too, like you were saying, like the overall concepts, the way the music sounded, it sounded good. You know what I mean? So yeah, I could see it. He has the right people behind him, and sometimes we were watching The Shop earlier. Sometimes it's a little bit of luck in the people you
run into. Yeah.
So
I could see this being album of the year, or at least nominated.
Or category or newcomer of the year or something like Grammy situation. Like that'll be a big look for Fabi.
I mean, he's already been nominated
with the City of Gods, or for what?
With Kanye.
Oh, for the album.
This last Grammys, wasn't he nominated with Kanye
on
one of the songs?
What was that song? With Marilyn Manson?
I want to say Jail.
No, Off the Grid. We off the grid. Is Fabi on that song? We off the grid.
I'm pretty sure he is.
Yeah, that was the one with Marilyn Manson.
Yeah,
but yeah, that was the one they were nominated for. So yeah, he is already nominated. But I mean,
so they already looking at him.
He has what it takes for sure. There's a few other bangers though. Like we talked about Heat already. There's still more to go. How do y'all feel about 4-2 and ESTG's Last One Left's tape? I feel like this gave me more mixtape vibes for sure.
Definitely.
I could see this on the nights you're trying to go out, you're trying to have a good time.
This definitely gonna be one of the go-tos for the summer.
Yeah.
For sure.
Turn up.
Turn it up for sure. Working out, like you were saying, that's definitely when I listened to this the most, was when I was working out.
It kind of gave me the vibe of the Dolphin Key Glock, kind of how they like go back and forth and like they have their individual but like still similar.
So this album made me like them both more, but I think it gave me more notice to ESTG.
Because you kind of were aware of 4-2, but now you like start to respect EST a little bit more.
Same.
But it made you both like both of the artists more.
For sure.
Yeah, because like 42, I was like, I don't know
on
about 42.
I start off on the fence too, so I feel you. But
and then I listened to this tape. I was like, oh, okay.
I get why people like them.
I was like, okay. And then it was just them two the whole time. I'm like, all right, I like this. And they bouncing off each other real well.
They sound good together.
It's just like Lil Baby and Lil Durk. It's like, all right, yep.
Similar, but still different enough to give me that variety.
Like, I bet you Lil Durk gained a lot of fans after that tape. ESCG gonna gain a lot of fans.
I think they both did.
Nah, same. Like, not saying that, but like 42, he's obviously gonna gain fans. But I'm just saying, like, who's the bigger artist out of the two?
Probably 4-2.
And then Lil Baby was bigger than Lil Durk. It still is.
Which is wild.
And he just came on the scene. Bro, I love a baby, boy.
Yeah, speaking of Lil Baby, he dropped us a 2-pack.
Bro, 2-pack,
which means he
took over.
He heating up. Like, he don't stop.
Oh, yeah. He
dropped some pretty good songs.
I like this competition, though. Like,
me too. Like, shoot.
I don't know if artists have to
fight for the attention. Let's shout out Vince though, because he just dropped the album within the last year, right? Not too long ago, and it was cool. And he came back within I feel like it's been 7 months, bro, and dropped some more quality music. I'm like, okay, Vince been working. He's trying to prove something.
Yeah,
Because
we
usually
were just talking about the Vince.
Vince don't drop that often.
What was that, 21? Yep, last year.
So the fact that he was like, all right, nah, I'm back outside, I thought that was dope. What are y'all's initial thoughts and reactions to the Vince Staples Ramona Park Broke My Heart album?
So I feel like I got to this one late, but I honestly feel like this is gonna be an album that I keep running back because it's my vibe. Like, but I like Vince Staples a lot.
That's literally
too.
what I was thinking. Like, it's a vibe.
Yeah, it really. He always is though. You kind of just got to be a Vince Staples fan. But what I was telling you earlier, what I compare him to, where he's at right now in his career, was like the Cherry Bomb Tyler the Creator. Like people don't really understand it yet, but he knows what he's doing. One thing about him, if you watch his interviews, he talks about, he's like, I make music, for my fans to listen and that. But he's like, I think of other things too, like movies. Am I making songs that are going to fit well with movies and other content you know what I mean?
He thinks big picture.
He does. And so I feel like people are going to catch on at some point.
And
sure.
Vince is always one of the first names people bring up when they talk about artists who aren't necessarily the biggest streamers, but they sell out and they have the biggest fan base. Like no matter where they travel to, they have that support. So it's like, it's organic. It's there. He had Lil Baby on here. He has Ty Dolla. I love he's starting to work with Mustard. Like that's always been Vince's biggest criticism too, is his beats. And I like him starting to get more into his Cali vibe. He's starting, like I say, work with Mustard, getting not more commercial, but he's starting to expand his horizon for sure. He got DJ Quick on here, and he said he worked with DJ Quick with a lot of the samples, so he's definitely tapping into that West Coast vibe.
I was gonna say this definitely gave me Cali vibes, West Coast vibe.
For sure.
Definitely got that down packed for sure.
And he's a Cali artist, so like sometimes you got to tap in with the roots.
Definitely came out definitely felt that vibe for sure.
I like it.
But also, I like songs when they have like like a story to it,
Or
like
meaning.
meaning behind it. And a lot of his songs are like that.
Yeah, well, it's kind of like a concept album too, which is dope. And then he's from Ramona Park, and it's kind of, a lot of the songs are kind of like metaphors for like just like his time back home, and he's just talking about different scenarios and things that happened within his hood, and how it's another survivor's remorse album where he's like, damn, I wish I could do more for the homies, but I understand that like this is the environment that we in and we all can't make it out. And it's always just dope to hear people's scenario. And he, 16? Like Vince been working. Vince is like, he's turning into one of my favorite artists, not even just musically, but just like
As a person.
he has it figured out. Yeah, he has it figured out. And you said it before, but he's gonna be here for a long time. Whether he drops music or not, he's like, it's gonna be hard for him to fall off. Because his music hasn't even caught on like that, and he's still here. Like Vince, what do you really do? And he's just like, I'm just a cool ass nigga.
When we've even talked about him acting, because he could be funny. Like he's a funny dude. So like, I mean, he's got a lot of opportunities, but I feel like he has the right like headset
and team for sure. Because he's almost 10 years deep, if not 10 years in the game by now. So he's kind of like a vet at this point too. Let's see.
I'm just about to ask that. That's crazy. 10 years.
The earliest one I have is 2014. So that's
he started young.
He started with Odd Future and Mac Miller and the internet, kind of that whole group too.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, about 10 years then.
Has to be.
At least.
Ramona Park Broke My Heart. Getting into some R&B and some more broken hearts. Sid from the internet dropped her album, her second solo album. And it's interesting because, like I said, she's a part of a band. And I always think that their individual albums are never as good as them together. Like it never always connects for me.
I would agree with that, but I think, well, at least I haven't heard this album. I told you that. I'm very sad because I didn't even know it came out. I would have definitely played this. But I think her first album that she came out with was a good album.
Yeah,
she probably has had the best album out of all of them going solo for sure.
I agree too. I just think they all bring so much to the table. It's
a
always
vibe?
so dope.
You know what I mean?
It's always so dope. But if I had to, I don't even want to say that. But if I had to choose one of my favorites out of the band, it might have to be Sid. Come on, everybody. She's like the star of the band. She's like the lead singer. Like, come on.
For sure.
But that boy, Steve Lacy, get down on the bass and production too. But like Sid's, like she's the lead singer, so it's only natural that the lead singer of the band is like the star, or they go out and do singles. But it was dope. It's another concept album. She recently just got out of a relationship and with this model, and they were like super public, like they were posting and stuff a lot. So it was like a known thing. And she named her album Broken Hearts Club. So I think this is kind of like, it's like a breakup album. And y'all know I love a good love story, but I love a good breakup story a little bit more. But it kind of goes into the whole thing. Like she talks about falling in love, and then she goes into falling out of love type deal. Yeah, I thought it was dope.
It is breakup season. Heartbreak season, I should say.
Man.
From what I heard, it was fire. Because I've heard a few songs. It definitely seems fire. I usually tend to think the people that get heartbroken make the best music.
Yeah, because you don't have nothing to do but lock in.
Exactly.
Like, I'm about to let this all out.
I'm going to let all my energy out into this album. And so I'm with it.
They'd be so good. But she has Smino on here, Lucky Day, Kehlani, a lot of really good greats. I love that she's so unique. Like, nobody necessarily sounds like her. But I love that she always tries to go out of her comfort zone and do new, different stuff. Like, there's a few on here that are more alternative, but they still, like, hit. And then she also getting hit into that, like, typical traditional R&B vibe. And she can sing. So, and she writes. She got that pen. So Sid's she's the greats. And it just puts the cherry on top that she's a part of a whole band. And it's like, they're all Black, unique, and cold. Like, the internet, they deserve a whole like documentary and show to themselves. But it's dope to see where they come from, coming up with Tyler and Mac and the whole Odd Future, and to see where they are now. She is actually brothers with, we might have talked about this, the dude from Lil Dicky's show from Odd Future, Taco.
Yeah,
they're brother and sister. So
I don't know.
They've always been around together. Like, they're literally family. So it's dope to see where they're speaking of Tyler and like that group, Vince, and to see where they are now. Just keeping to expand. And they're both talented. Like, imagine what their parents are thinking. And then last but not least, on some more R&B vibes, I just got put onto this girl, Leia. Her album's called Hello. I guess she's been out for a little bit, but she just recently got signed. So some of these songs are a little bit older. I was like, damn, she got Fabio on here. Fabio's on Coil Ray's album. He's on his own album. And he's on this, like, Fabio been working, bro.
Bro, I told you, he's up.
I was going to put Vince on the cover, but we might have to find a Fabio pick. But he's also on this. I was like, all right, let me tune in. But it's dope. What makes her so dope, for one, she could sing. I'm pretty sure she writes her own stuff. But she also does all her own, like, media and, like, videos and entertainment. I think she did, like, her cover art. But I'll play one of her videos after. And she literally, like, edits everything. She does her own, like, everything. So, like I said, she's been out working for a little bit. And then Warner is who's finally reached out and signed her. But you could just tell, like, what reminded me of is the Doja Cat, how Doja was just low key. She just worked, produced her own stuff, did all this. She was kind of on the internet bubbling, and then they finally caught on. Like, that little weird, unique vibe. That's kind of what she gives me. But I love to see people who's like, nah, I'm going to make it work. Like, I don't need nobody's help. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And I know I'm dope, and I'm going to just do it myself. And then they eventually was like, yo. I even looked at her Instagram. She only has like 20K, 40K followers maybe. But she's super unique. And once I found out she does all her own videos, I was on board.
That's crazy. She's on the front page of Apple.
For real?
Yeah, because I listened to her. It was cool.
Yeah, I like it. It's a quick little 30-minute listen.
Yeah, it was real quick.
It's a vibe for sure.
I was like getting ready. I was like, dang, is it over? I was in the shower that long?
Damn, you taking them long showers.
Nah,
She killed it.
I was doing stuff before the shower. You know
Shout
what I'm saying? Had to shave.
Shout out to Leia. Any other singles? We talked on the Lil Baby. We, of course, talked on that Neck
Lil
and
Baby.
Wrist. Push hasn't even gave us a release date yet. It's pissing me off. I did see he had a listening session with like all the like media people.
Did you touch base? I mean, I think you mentioned it, but the little baby. Did we talk too much about it, or did we?
No, I just brought it up.
But yeah, I
But
mean, I guess.
How he was holding the top 2 spots on YouTube.
Yeah, no, you had that little tidbit.
Yeah.
That's dope. I think I
That
did
was
see
crazy.
that though. But that just means it's about to be Lil Baby season. Like he getting ready to drop, because he never drops without a purpose. So, and he's promoting this Wham thing. So I think that's the name of his album. Yeah, like a 4-finger ring.
I wonder what that stands for.
Gave me damn vibes. Like he's just trying to be like, you ever read comics and like Wham, bam, pop.
What?
You haven't seen
No,
that?
yeah, I know you're
That's,
talking
that's
about.
where I only get seen Wham at. It's like a little.
Oh, wham! Like I'm
like
about to
It's an action.
like
word.
slap, like this about to slap you
Exactly.
in the face.
That's kind of
Okay,
what I took
okay.
from it.
Wham!
But nah, there's no other music that comes to mind.
I'm so glad y'all thought
Yeah.
that Jack was trash. I was like, Jack, this is not it.
Definitely not. He could have kept that.
Oh, Rowdy Rebel, Rowdy verse Rebel.
Did he drop an album or?
Nah, a little single.
Okay, yeah, I
He's
seen
about to
that.
drop his album.
I seen
getting
he's
ready.
gearing up, bro. Who's having the best 2022 so far, in your eyes? I got 2 people. Bobby Smurda is living life to the fullest.
You talking about just having fun and enjoying
Just
it?
living the best
Nah,
life.
Bobby Schmurda for sure.
And Wiz Khalifa is living the greatest life, bro. He doesn't care about anything right now. Wiz is just so at peace. See ya. That's my favorite. See ya.
Nah,
He
for
like
real.
going to the gym, just got done, going back. It's a good day. See ya. Like, Wiz, what are you on? And we apparently be making some people mad. Everybody don't like to see people happy, huh?
For real.
Yeah, they living it up. Those are my 2 idols right now.
Bobby Schmurda be dancing everywhere he go.
He just be happy,
Laughing,
bro.
smiling.
Just happy.
It's like they're like, why you gangsters don't do that?
This fool was smiling while playing trash basketball.
I seen him. They said he was Reggie Jackson. They said when he started the high stepping.
Yeah.
He looked just like Reggie.
Did you see he was dancing with all like the Avengers of dancing, like your favorite gorilla guy and like all the viral dancers.
I
You
did
didn't
not
see that? He literally got all the viral dancers together. The little African dude with the red shorts that be like walking and dancing. It was literally all the dance. Wiz and Bobby, they living the best life. Before we get out of here, the NBA season came to a close. So it was an okay season, I guess. I hope the playoffs are going to be good. I think the playoffs are going to hold up because, I mean, would you say there's a favorite to win it all? What do you think?
I would
Drew?
say in the Western Conference, there's a favorite.
I think they're the favorite all around, to be honest.
Okay.
The Suns is.
See, it's just the East. I don't know about the East, but no, the Suns definitely.
I think they're
I think they're a sure lock to get to the finals from the West. From the East, I honestly don't know.
I think that's where it's gonna be a blood.
But I wouldn't be surprised if we have a Milwaukee versus the Suns again. I honestly wouldn't be surprised.
But I think the East is where it's gonna be like, yo, this is good. Clearly last night was the play in. The Minnesota and Clippers game was hilarious.
It was so funny.
But I think that Minnesota and Memphis might be some heat too. I think that might give us some drama.
I think you're gonna see two. Well, one they were drafted in the same year, right? Or is Anthony Edwards one more?
He's
year?
one after, if I'm not
Okay.
mistaken.
Okay. Still, you're gonna get two of the.
Ja was with Ben. I think Ben Simmons.
Okay. Well, yeah. Either way, no, that was with Zion. He was with Zion.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah, he was with
Zion.
Zion.
Some dominant forward.
Yeah, but I think you're gonna get a athletic, entertaining sort of show from both those two young players.
But even Russell was putting in work too. Like,
Yeah,
and then
you can't leave out Cat.
I was about to say they made us forget about Cat. Like, there's firepower on both sides.
The one thing I would say, at least so far, we've seen from Minnesota that does concern me is they play a little immature. You could tell like they haven't really been there.
They're young.
You know what I mean? Like they make dumb choices sometimes. Like you've seen it happen. They could have very well easily lost that game.
But what's funny is Memphis hasn't really been there either.
True.
The only difference is they don't play like a veteran team. Like they play like traditional Memphis. They're in a team. They're going to play hard. They're gritty. I don't know if you've seen, but on TNT, Chuck, Shaq, a lot of the guys think Memphis is going to win that series, or they think Minnesota is going to win that series and upset Memphis.
I can see it happening.
And they're just like, Memphis hasn't really had a real challenge yet. So once they get hit in the mouth, who knows what happens.
But I also think it would have been challenging. I think regardless, we need to see if Memphis is the real deal. You know what I mean?
Yeah, true.
I mean, it's one thing to win during the regular season, but it's different when you're playing the same team for at least 4 games where you.
It's annoying.
Also, you're gonna have a week basically to kind of study them. It's a totally different game.
Yeah.
They're gonna take away your first and second options.
Pat Bev versus Ja, like he gonna be all up under his skin.
And Pat Bev is low key kind of underrated though.
He impacts for sure.
He definitely does. He's not gonna give you any.
As much as we like troll him, we can't act like Pat Bev doesn't impact the team.
He's a
good
game.
Oh, definitely.
I would be honest. I would love him on the Nuggets.
Yeah.
Any team would probably want a Pat Bev.
Exactly. Any team would want them on his team, but they would never want to
hate
play
playing against
them.
them.
Yeah,
For sure.
like they'll talk trash, but except for if they on their team,
Like,
like
yo,
yeah.
keep doing that same thing.
Yep.
Hit them little threes whenever
The
you can.
antagonizer. You need the antagonizer.
Sometimes you do.
Hey, we should do our first round predictions though before we get out of here because I'm curious. And plus the playoffs start
Here soon.
here. Yeah, this weekend. So by the time this drops, the next day it'll be
Opening
Yeah.
day.
yeah. There it is. So I guess
like I said, I think Phoenix is the favorite. So I think Phoenix might. I think this is their year. Hopefully, Chris Paul finally gets the ring. That would be legendary. I think they're just the most complete. I think the East is going to be a bloodbath. I think the Toronto and Philly series is something to keep an eye on.
I think the same thing.
But then Brooklyn just got this number 7 seed. So Brooklyn and Boston.
I think the East has like potentially better series than the West
For
might
sure.
have right now.
It's gonna the playoffs in the East is gonna be better, I think.
Because honestly, even think if it's what if it's Miami versus Atlanta? Let's not forget
gonna be good,
Atlanta. Atlanta,
They like
went
playing.
far,
They like
yeah.
playing underdog.
Yeah,
So you think Atlanta's gonna beat Cleveland? Probably.
sure.
I would rather see Atlanta. I mean, as good as Cleveland's season was, we want to see Atlanta
Hey, how does the Hornets get in, or they don't?
because they lost today. They're out.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's a one and done
yeah.
unless you're 7 or 8.
So the Spurs are out.
Yep.
Yep. And the Pelicans and Clippers are gonna face for
They get that number 8. That should be a good one.
That's gonna be a good one. I like these play-ins.
Okay.
I hear a lot of people like kind of hate on them and stuff, but
Silver said they're here to stay
So Atlanta,
like it.
Atlanta versus the Cavs.
to see who's going to get the 8.
Get the 8 spot.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, I mean, I think Miami, Brooklyn, and Boston. Whew.
Bro,
Who do you got, Larry? I don't know. It's hard to go against KD and Kyrie. So I'm gonna just go Brooklyn.
Yeah, Brooklyn, bro.
We know
Hey,
who
Kyrie
you go.
Damn,
gonna
what?
show up, bro.
Why you
Against-
He
shitting
always
on
goes
Boston,
on. He always goes
against-
with the
bro, Kyrie's
the
gonna.
name.
stars,
Yeah, he goes
yeah.
with the name.
Nah, it's not even that. Kyrie's gonna show out against his old team. He got something to prove, bro.
I mean,
It's gonna be crazy.
Boston has the number 1 defense in
and
the
Kyrie
NBA, though.
already been going
They do.
crazy, bro.
And they're small. If Robert Williams is out, it's gonna be tough because that equalizes things. But if they have Robert Williams there to defend that paint, and no Ben Simmons,
It's gonna be a 40-40.
7.
It's gonna be a 40-40.
Hopefully it goes 7.
It's gonna be a 40-40 series.
What does that mean? Oh, they're both gonna put up 40
Yeah,
on the number 1 defense in the league.
yeah.
I'm willing to
No,
bet that.
because they got they
At
have-
least one game they will.
Probably.
on the Celtics alone.
But that's what makes the playoffs different is you have to do it 3 more times. You can't just have one good game. Like
and they don't have home court advantage like that. That
you
plays
got to
a
go
part.
play in Boston.
Yeah. And I honestly like as much as I think Kyrie and KD are great. We know they're Hall of Famers. But in regards to an overall all around team,
Let's look at the equalizer though. They got 2 boys who will look at Kyrie and KD in the face and go toe to toe. We seen Jason Tatum put up 50 while KD put up 50 at the same time. Like,
well, let's not forget about Marcus Smart.
Like
he's gonna be guarding one of them.
I think it's gonna be a battle, man.
I think again that one I could see go 7. I could see.
I'm gonna go Brooklyn. No, fuck it.
I'm gonna go Boston. I think Boston's the better team.
Without Ben, it's gonna be tough
Yeah, Brooklyn has the better talent, but Boston is the better team
for sure.
Brooklyn.
Milwaukee and
Milwaukee
7.
and no, they're 6. So
No, yeah,
they're going
you're
against
right.
the Bulls. They're about to.
Yeah,
They're about to
the
sweep
Bulls
the
have
Bulls.
been lacking.
They're about to sweep the Bulls.
So let's go to the West then. We got, what about our beloved Nuggets versus Golden State in the first round? Steph Curry's a little injured, but I think he's gonna be ready.
I think I'm gonna go a little deep. My initial thought is Warriors in 6, but I think if the Nuggets pull off one of the wins, split it, I think it's gonna go 7 games, and I think it's a coin flip.
You can go whoever takes over 7.
Because some things to know is their big 3 still hasn't played a whole lot together. I think they played 11 minutes together this whole year. Then you're going to shift Jordan Poole into a different role that he hasn't been playing. So things are going to change.
No, like if anytime it's now and before they get their chemistry going.
For sure. And we don't know if Steph is going to play this first game. So I feel like this first game, if Steph's not playing, it's important. But the other thing, too, to note.
Clay has been heating up.
Clay has been heating up. And they have Draymond Green. He's arguably one of the best defenders that we've probably seen in our generation.
Yeah, I think he's the X factor. I also was gonna say if Draymond Green like plays like Draymond, I think it's goes 6. If it's like up in the air, I think it can go 7, and like you said, it can go either way. But I think I'm gonna go Warriors with that, especially if Steph is being Steph. I think it's hard to beat a healthy Steph and Clay because I heard that Murray and Porter were also ruled out for the postseason, if I'm not mistaken.
Porter, most likely, they still haven't closed the door on Jamal Murray.
Nothing official.
Yeah, nothing official. Malone said today, he's like, it's doubtful. He's probably doubtful for this series. He's like, but it's really, from my understanding, it's really whenever Jamal's ready. They're like, hey, basically rehab-wise, he's probably been cleared, but it's like...
He's been playing, right? Like,
yeah.
He was with G League for a while.
Yeah, and he practiced today with them. I think... you know how it is. You more than anyone would, because you tore your Achilles. When you have an injury like that, it's a mental hurdle more than anything.
Get like that confidence back.
Yeah. So, we'll see what happens.
Especially because if he gets out there and he's not confident, that might mess him up for life. Like
for sure. And you don't. Yeah, that's tough. But I think, honestly, he go out there and I really think Jamal Murray is that type of player. Paul George gave me hope. He came back. He was in.
KD, like off the Achilles. Dwight Powell out there in Dallas.
Yeah, he came back fast too.
That's another team to kind of be. They were peaking at the right time, but Luka just came off that calf strain, so it's
no, he's still hurt.
Yeah,
they don't even know if he's playing.
They haven't really released much.
Yeah.
Who does Dallas play? Utah.
Yep, Utah.
That gets interesting. Utah's been playing shitty, but with a hurt Luka, come on, bro.
Yeah, nah. Utah wins if Luka's not playing.
Like it's not even a.
But if Luka's there, he's easily beating Utah. But I don't know if they could get, because let's see, after they would go and face Phoenix, I don't think they're gonna beat Phoenix. Honestly, yeah, I don't.
It's Phoenix is to lose for sure.
But I honestly think whoever wins out of the Nuggets and Warriors will be the people that face the Suns in the Western Conference Finals.
Who would they play if they win?
Either the
Utah.
Oh no, so Utah or the Jazz.
Mm-hmm.
The Mavs or the Jazz will play the Suns.
Okay.
And then the Warriors or Nuggets will face the Memphis or Timberwolves. Yeah,
that'd be fun either way. All right, what about some of the awards? I know MVP is getting ready to come out. Recently, KD shared his thoughts on who he should win MVP. And I was watching Joel Embiid on JJ Redick's show also, and JJ Redick said the same thing. He was like, I think you should win MVP. And he was like, why? And he kind of broke it down, but KD shares some interesting perspectives.
Awards like that, because you look at the list of people that's voting for MVP,
Damn, that's perfect.
Finals MVP,
These are life-changing moments.
life-changing moments, like legacy-altering decisions, and
Got a speed
now
crossed.
money is involved. All NBA, like
That's tough. That's a kind of crazy decision.
We definitely have to vet these people out who are making these decisions to, like, former players, like, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
like that actually hooped out there. That
Yes.
there's so many guys that work in the NBA.
Well, they're coaches.
Coaches.
Coaches would be great.
Could
Coaches,
vote for
players,
the?
and former executives, like executives, like it should
Yep.
be within the
industry,
within the NBA.
within
the industry. Yeah,
I understand what you mean.
Okay.
the
so
media is like outside the. They like
Yeah.
they like outside the club. Like we in the club. Like they
You-
trying to get in
you get a vote.
for MVP.
Who you picking?
I'm picking Joel Embiid.
Leading
It's
scorer.
funny
in the
because
league?
they kind of
I
hate
just
each
think
other
his
too.
dominance
Like,
throughout the year.
they have
was,
a love-hate
so
relationship.
impactful for his team. And
KD
he
and
averaged
Joel.
30. Led the league in
My
scoring. I think he's doing this throughout the year was like so impactful for his team, and he averaged 30. Led the league in scoring. I think he should win it.
before we get out of here, who are our takes for MVP this season? We heard who KD thinks. Waxy.
I'm gonna say Joel Embiid. It's like it's crazy for a big man to get the scoring title. So you got a
that-
strong argument.
I think that's the biggest argument for Embiid is he got the scoring title, but like
And if you take
Any
him
other
away from
stats?
his team, they probably would be trash.
but every other stat belongs to Jokic. That's like it's
Yeah, if we going stat for stat, Jokic got it.
I don't know. It's tough to give it to Embiid and not give it to Jokic. I don't know. The only thing is like Jokic won it last year, so I get it, but like it would be tough to give it to Embiid and not give it to Jokic, especially because Jokic does not have any other max players on his team. He just got Harden. He had Tobias. He has Maxey down there balling.
True.
I don't know. It's tough.
Yeah, if you take Embiid away after they got Harden, but if they before Harden, their team would be trash. But Harden definitely helps them out. If you take Jokic away, what do the Nuggets have? I'm gonna let you chime in. You're right.
I mean, you guys already know I'm biased. I think it's Jokic. I watch them every game. I see how he carries this team every night. Like where literally you take him off the floor, you're scared and you're like, dang, you need Jokic back in. Like you see it every game.
Get him a quick breather.
One of the key stats that kind of broke out, like, well, one, Jokic analytically wise, he leads in every statistical category.
Especially advanced stats. But it's
Yeah.
gotten to the point where the trolls are like, what the hell is an advanced stat? So people are like kind of over it, like, because they don't really understand analytics as much. But then if you just look at the regular stats, like even still, like
I mean,
rebounds,
put up
assists,
great numbers. But
percentage.
one thing that stood out to me is through like analytics, they figured out that when Jokic is on the floor, they're basically the number one team. They're on pace to be a 62-win team. When Jokic is off the floor, they're the worst team in the league. They're on pace to win 19 games this year.
That's literally the definition of MVP right there.
And it's like he won it last year, and he literally had a better year than last year.
So for me, I think, and like people want to bring up record, I'm like, I don't think
It wasn't that much more impactful. Like what he won, like 4 more games than the Nuggets.
I think they're 3 games ahead.
That's not enough.
The last
sway.
game didn't even count. The Nuggets didn't want to play. But I mean, regardless, like I don't think they had a great record either. I don't think the East is as tough as what people try to say it is, because if you looked at the East and compared them to like the people on the lower half of the West, they could have been a lot higher up in the rankings too. So I just think
The East teams had a better record, I think, like in the playoffs.
I think overall, but if you're looking at the top of like who you're playing, because it kind of falls off near like the 10, 9, 8 area.
Yeah.
But the people up above, they have a lot better records than what the East would have.
Because I know the Lakers were in it in the West, and they would not have been in it in the East if they had that same record.
But I wouldn't be mad. I think there's 2 people that I think that get left out of the conversation. Giannis, because I've seen a lot of people actually thinking he should win it or he's like second.
He had a great year.
I think the NBA, when they dropped like who the final MVP of their rankings was, it went Jokic, Giannis, Embiid. So I think Giannis gets kind of the short end.
Wait, Jokic, Giannis, Embiid, or Jokic, Embiid, Giannis?
Nah, it was Jokic, Giannis, Embiid.
Was second?
Yeah, I could
I
pull
thought
it up right now.
I thought you said Embiid had like.
Well, votes wise, so the actual people. What I was telling them earlier is, people have been keeping track of what people have said, like whether through Twitter, live on their podcast, whatever, where they release their who they picked for all these awards, and Jokic was ahead at 28. Embiid had 8, and Giannis had like 4 or 6 or something like that. One of those. It was one of those. But the way the NBA, they always did their like MVP tracker. That's the way they ended.
So like total points, basically, they have all that already. That's interesting.
But then the other person I'd say is Devin Booker.
Yeah, that's who was on my mind too.
Devin Booker should definitely be mentioned. You're on the best team. He's
all NBA first team for sure.
For sure. And he's the best player on the best team. So,
and that's where it gets tricky too, where they should just take the best 5 because they can't have Jokic and Embiid.
Yeah, I think
even though they're going to be number 1 and number 2 in MVP.
Definitely think it should be positionless.
Yeah, I agree with you guys. Any last words before we get out of here?
No, I ain't got none. Except Jokic's gonna win that MVP.
Except I told you so. Well, thanks for watching. It's been another great episode. We'll see you same time, same place next week. And like that,
we gone.
Here's the Leia Sailor Moon video I was talking about. She did all her own editing. It throws me off because she got the blonde eyebrows. It's just hard though. Like damn, she did all. I'll stop talking.
Right around with my team.